Shahrun Baroun, Secretary-General of the International Trade Union Confederation, has written a letter to Ayatollah Khamenei, the Supreme Leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, expressing his concerns regarding the worsening of the labor organizations and the fundamentals of human rights in Iran. Esmail Barzegari from Branch 7 of Evin Prison recently went on a hunger strike in order to protest against not being released from prison despite the fact that his imprisonment period had ended. During the past week, Naghmeh Abedini, wife of Saeed Abedini, who is an Iranian-American priest currently imprisoned in Iran, traveled to New York in order to create a dialogue with the authorities of other countries, as well as the Iranian authorities, seeking to find a way to release her husband from the prison in Iran.
On Thursday, the 17th of September 2015, Said Mansour Mousavi, a teacher, political activist, and a trade unionist in the field of media, was arrested at his house as reported by his family. It is said that he has previously been arrested 2 times due to being active in the fields of politics and media. During the past week, the Chief Commander of Public Security of the Central Province announced the seal of 2 garden celebration halls in the city of Arak due to their failure to comply with the Islamic principles. On Sunday, the 20th of September 2015, Valeh Zamani, a labor activist, was arrested by the security forces. It is worth mentioning that Valeh Zamani is a relative of Shahrukh Zamani, a trade unionist who recently passed away. Workers in the Sistan and Baluchistan province have migrated to the city of Rafsanjan due to the lack of jobs in their local environment. These workers are staying in the green environments and are waiting to start work in the cotton farms. According to the reports, Milad Darwish, a documentary filmmaker and a union activist, was transferred to Branch 8 of the Evin prison, having spent a month in Branch 209 of the prison. Saeed Razavi Fagih, a political prisoner from the Rajai Shah prison, was sentenced to a further 3.5 years. Furthermore, on Sunday the 20th of September 2015, an individual accused of rape was hanged in the central prison of Mashhad. The chief commander of public security of the Gilan province, by naming 11 individuals accused of thugs in the province, announced that these people attended a 4-day program cleaning the contaminated and high-crime areas and were referred to the judicial authorities. Following this stream of arresting of civil rights activists, Izzatullah Jafari, a civil rights activist, was also arrested in the city of Andimesh. Saeed Shirzad, a civil and children's rights activist in the Rajai Shah prison, was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment by the lower court. Mr. Shirzad was acquitted from charges of disturbing public order. However, his 5 years imprisonment sentence was on charges of assembly inclusion.
Shamin Naoumi, a Baha'i prisoner who was on leave from the Rajai Shah prison, went back to prison in order to serve the rest of her sentence.
You may have heard about the story of Socrates or Mansur al-Hallaj. If you have not, please Google their name. For you, this might be only a myth, a story with exaggeration which had happened long time ago. Today, if you search Iranian news agencies, you will face with the news, death sentence for Muhammad Ali Taheri. You may think he must be a criminal, maybe he is a terrorist, or you might say he definitely was a threat for their people. No, you're wrong. Taheri is a scholar, theorist, founder of 2 modern complementary medicine, and a spiritual teacher. He has been arrested in 4th May 2011 for a charge of acting against national security because of receiving some honorary doctorates and the prize of officer from Europe for his scientific theories, and another charge, blasphemy, for his opinion that each individual can be directly connected to their source, or God, without any mediators. And after 4 years in solitary cell, they gave him death sentence for the charge of corruption on else. They believe that he's spoiled people's mind. Yeah. In 21st century, after the so-called historical deal for world peace, Iran is going to execute a man who brought peace for heart of thousands and thousands of people. A man who sacrificed himself for humanity, defined peace and unity from another approach, and gave another meaning to human, love, unity, life, universe, and spirituality. A man who talked about the dignity of the human being and need for freedom of thought. Now, we can just watch the execution of another Hallaj, or turn on our handphone's camera and ask Iran's government to free Muhammad Ali Taheri.
Muhammad Ali Taheri is a kind and gentle man. He stood up for justice and freedom and for what he believed was right. I'm hoping that you will listen to our pleas and to release him and to at least spare his life and to allow him to carry on the fight for freedom and justice.
The cyber police chief of the police commander of the Gilan province announced that the people who had attempted to spread lies against a number of provincial officials in cyberspace have been arrested by the security forces. The cyber police chief of the intelligence force commander of the Ilam province announced that according to the law, people who attempt to spread lies on cyberspace will be dealt with strictly. Despite being transferred to the Imam Khomeini hospital from the Rajai Shah prison, 86-year-old Hassan Tafa was prevented from receiving treatment and was returned back to the prison. Despite the fact that the court cases of the arrested residents of Andimeshk have been referred to Branch 3 of the Interrogation Office, there is still no information available regarding the whereabouts of the imprisoned and reasons for their arrests. Saeed Hossein Zadeh, a civil rights activist from Branch 7 of Evin Prison, was prevented from receiving medical treatment even though a specialist doctor was available at the time. A young girl who was sold to a family at the price of 800,000 toman was transferred to a welfare centre by the order of the judiciary.